Hi, this is Trish Paradis from the Springfield Family Center,
And Chris Meyer from Chester Helping Hands.
and we are here at 56 Main Street at the Copper Fox Restaurant with chef and owner Nick Matush. Nick, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I was born and raised here in Springfield, Vermont. I had a job here when I was, I think, 16 in the same space. Back then it was called Morningstar Cafe. And the chef, his name was Robert McIntyre, known as Mac. He was an inspiration to me. It led me into a culinary career the rest of my life.
That's terrific, Nick. Thanks. So tell me, how has COVID affected your business?
COVID has affected our business in so many ways. It's been like a roller coaster ride, really. It was last year about this time, the governor asked us to stop indoor dining. We just shut down immediately, went into hibernation mode to try to kind of wait out the storm and see what was going to be next. Then we reopened May 2020, and we were fortunate to have a little outdoor space, so we did indoor, outdoor dining, and takeout. When Everyone Eats came about, I mean, everybody in the beginning of it, we were just trying to figure out how can we feed people, you know, and I had contacted Trish from Springfield Family Center, and she was working on some different state program at the time. It was feeding some homeless people, and we couldn't make ends meet there, and it ended up being grabbed by like a state entity, and they did the food, so we didn't get there. But it was cool that she was still fighting, you know, for social justice, and she was continuing to check avenues, and this whole SEVCA thing, Everyone Eats, came about. I know Chester Helping Hands was a major part of the funding piece and working together with Springfield Family Center. So when that all came about, I was excited to help feed people and especially get paid for it, you know. So that was huge when the state decided they're going to help pay for it.
Nick, what's been your favorite meal that you've produced for the program so far?
There's been plenty of times when we've made bolognese sauce, and it's just pasta bolognese, and you know, we bought a cow and used it pretty much for Everyone Eats. So that was a favorite of mine, just because it was quick and easy usually. And that, I mean, quick and easy, like it takes like 7 hours instead of 8 or 9 hours to do for, depending on how many people we're feeding. You know, we've gone from 100 people to 200 people. So my favorite tasting meal, oh, I don't know. It's maybe a version of macaroni and cheese, or it might be maybe our meatloaf. We've done meatloaf with roasted potatoes, and I love everything that goes into that. We make curry ketchup and smother it with that, so maybe the meatloaf.
So Everyone Eats requires the use of Vermont ingredients. Has the purchasing for your restaurant changed at all, thanks to the Everyone Eats program?
The purchasing for our restaurant has always been kind of local based, so we've always tried to use the farm to table mentality in our business. As far as Vermont goes, we've always supported Vermont farms, some right here in Springfield.
So Nick, what's your perception of food insecurity in Vermont?
We don't see it necessarily. I mean, I see it in Springfield because I was born and raised here, and I grew up with kids that couldn't, buy their own lunch, or they had school would provide meals for them. So I grew up in this town, and I know there's that piece of it, but you never know what's in the pantry at the kid's house. You don't know what their lifestyle is like until you get to see it firsthand.
What have you done through your restaurant to address food insecurity in your community?
To me, it's something that we'd love to do more of, whether it be fundraisers. It really takes a village to make this happen, and it's hard to do it as one business, but we have the know-how to feed people, so we'd be happy to do multiple events a year if it could be fundraising for this cause.
So Nick, how would you describe your connection to the community pre-COVID and in these current times of COVID?
This town, the downtown area specifically, has emptied out in my lifetime. It's starting to fill back up, which is really great. So we're like, I like to think that we're part of a renaissance, if you will, in Springfield. It's something that I didn't want to die with Morningstar Cafe when I was a kid. I saw what it could be, and it was such an awesome restaurant then. The economic downfall of Springfield has always been a sad story and it's not just Springfield, it's a lot of towns in Vermont. But the community has always been really a big support of what we're trying to do down here. I would like to reach out more if there's a way to do that. I mean, we always want more, more business, but also, to feel like people are using the space to enjoy their life.
Do you feel restaurants have a role in emergency response?
I definitely think so. Like, if there was some money ready to go for that in case this was ever to happen again, now at least we know what to do. Everyone Eats has been a great program to feed people quick and get the money back in the generation process.
Would you say in Vermont that restaurant resources are well utilized or underutilized when it comes to emergencies?
I think that there's a need. I think there's plenty of food that's going to waste, and I think there's plenty of chefs that know how to turn it into good food.
If you were in charge of the Everyone Eats program, is there anything that you would change about it?
The one thing I do think about a lot is how, like, this community thing, and going back to that is, like, I don't see who these people are who are eating this food. Like, I don't understand what their need is, or what, who am I actually feeding? And when I'm doing 200 meals a week, and I don't know if there's a piece of that where it can be intertwined to the kitchen itself and say, maybe there's 5 volunteers that help do this once a week, or the community actually helps feed the 200 people rather than a business per se, and maybe it's people who are also taking those meals, and maybe they get a couple extra meals by helping out. Something like that. I think.
Sure.